What if I told you that every mood, movement, memory, even your heartbeat, depends on tiny chemical messengers zipping through your brain and body? These are called neurotransmitters. And today, on Psyc Academy, we're diving into how these microscopic molecules make us who we are and allow our minds and bodies to work. We'll explore what neurotransmitters are, how they function, key players like dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and more, and why they matter for everything from learning to mental health. Let's get started. Section 1. What are neurotransmitters? So, what exactly is a neurotransmitter? The term refers to chemical messengers released by nerve cells, neurons, that cross a tiny gap called the synapse, bind to receptors on another cell, which may be another neuron, a muscle cell, or a gland, and trigger actions. Here's the process simplified. An electrical signal, action potential, travels down the neuron's axon to the terminal. That triggers the release of neurotransmitters stored in vesicles. These chemicals cross the synaptic gap and bind to receptors. The receiving cell then responds, either by firing its own signal, relaxing, contracting, secreting something, or changing its activity. Neurotransmitters can be excitatory, inhibitory, or modulatory, meaning they can ramp up activity, dampen it, or adjust the overall system. In short, these tiny molecules are the control switches of our nervous system. Section 2. Key neurotransmitters and their functions. Let's zoom in on some of the major neurotransmitters and what they do. Acetylcholine, AACH. This is one of the earliest discovered neurotransmitters, and it plays a major role in both the central and peripheral nervous systems. It's involved in muscle contraction, memory, attention, learning, sleep, and motivation. For example, if you want to raise your hand or move your fingers, acetylcholine is signaling your muscles. And in your brain, lower levels of ACTH are linked with memory problems and diseases like Alzheimer's disease. Dopamine, often known as the reward neurotransmitter. Dopamine helps regulate pleasure, motivation, learning, movement control, and decision-making. Too little dopamine can cause movement disorders like Parkinson's disease. Too much or misregulated dopamine can show up in addictions and certain mental health conditions. Serotonin. This crafty neurotransmitter has its hands in mood, sleep, appetite, digestion, and even memory. It's mostly inhibitory, meaning it helps calm and regulate brain activity. Low serotonin levels have been associated with depression, anxiety, and sleep disorders. Glutamate and GABA. Here's a pair you'll want to know. Glutamate is the major excitatory neurotransmitter in the brain. It helps with learning and memory by strengthening synaptic connections. GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, is the principal inhibitory transmitter. It calms the system, prevents overexcitation, helps regulate anxiety, sleep, and seizures. Norepinephrine, noradrenaline, and epinephrine, adrenaline. These are associated with alertness, arousal, the fight-or-flight response, focus, stress response, and energy. Endorphins and other peptides. These act as natural painkillers and mood elevators, released during exercise, laughter, physical exertion. Section 3. Why neurotransmitters matter. Everyday life and health. You might think neurotransmitters are only for brain geeks, but they affect every single part of your life. How you feel, how you move, how you think. From controlling your heartbeat, breathing, digestion, to experiencing joy, anger, motivation, or love. When a neurotransmitter is out of balance, too much or too little, it can show up as disease, depression, anxiety, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, addiction. For example, SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, work by increasing serotonin in the synapse to help with depression. In short, when you eat well, sleep well, move, connect socially, you're helping your neurotransmitter systems stay healthy. Section 4. How can you support healthy neurotransmitters? Now here's the empowering part. You can influence your neurotransmitter health with lifestyle. Get sufficient sleep. Many neurotransmitter processes occur during restorative sleep. Regular exercise boosts dopamine, endorphins, GABA, and more. A balanced diet rich in amino acids, the building blocks, supports neurotransmitter creation. Some nutrients help. Choline for acetylcholine. Manage stress. Chronic stress taxes your neurotransmitter system, especially those of the fight or flight variety. Social connection, meaningful interaction, learning new skills. These all help stimulate and regulate neurotransmitter systems. To recap, neurotransmitters are our body's chemical messengers. They allow neurons to communicate, shaping everything from muscle movement to mood. Key players like acetylcholine, dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and more each have unique functions. When neurotransmitters are balanced, you function well. When they're imbalanced, issues can arise. And the best part, you've got power. Through sleep, diet, exercise, connection, you can support your neurotransmitter health. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the brain's chemistry, hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss more insights from Psyc Academy. Drop a comment below. Which neurotransmitter surprised you the most? See you in the next video. And keep exploring the mind and body connection.